Morning, everybody. We are going to do an oil change today. So let me show you. This is a 2019 Chevy Colorado 4x4 work truck. And let's just say you get in your truck one day and this message pops up in your dashboard. Change oil soon. Don't panic. It just comes on at about 10% oil life remaining. And it's just a warning sign. So if it gets down, mine is at about 5%. It's not that your oil has 5% remaining, it's the life of the oil. So don't panic. Either you're going to take it in to have it changed, or we're going to do it ourselves. And that's what I'm about to show you. Okay, so when we're about to change oil, I like to have all my supplies ready and go. And I'll show you that right now. We have an oil pan to catch all the oil, a funnel to put the new oil back in. We have our oil ready. And this truck, 3.6 liter, takes 5 weight 30, full synthetic. Mine's getting a little bit high mileage, but we're just going to keep the regular one in there. And it takes 6 quarts of oil. So as you can see, this is a 5 quart, and I have to add 1 more quart. I like to have plenty of lighting underneath, gloves, and here's the truck owner's manual. You can see when it gets down to 5% or near zero, you should start thinking about getting your oil changed. Here's an oil filter. I'll show you how to replace that, and the proper tools. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is open the hood, and you can find that latch right there. Pop that, but that pulls over to the right, and then you can open your hood. Okay, so there's your oil fill, and the oil filter is just back down this way. But we're going to jack this up and do it safely. We're going to lock the wheels and put a safety stand under the axle here. Okay, the jack is in the correct spot, but let me first start out saying I am not an expert. If you're uncomfortable doing it at this point, jacking up a car and getting underneath, then I do not recommend you doing this. Please take every precaution to be safe. Locking the wheels, putting a stop in the back wheel, and using a jack stand such as this under here. So I'm going to lift up the car, and the oil drain is on the opposite side of the oil pan. That's why I'm jacking it up on the driver's side. So this is where I'm going to put a safety stand. Go a little. One more should be good. You see it's safely held together, and I feel comfortable getting underneath the truck at this point. Okay, we are underneath. I have the oil pan positioned under the oil drain plug, and this is a 15 millimeter socket, which is metric, as you can see right there. 15 millimeters fits snugly on there. So I'm going to just move this back so I can loosen this up and get draining here. I like to keep cardboard or anything underneath because I've been known to make a mess, but hopefully not today when I'm showing you what to do here. So this is pretty tight. Just break that loose, and then after that it's fairly easy. So I like to position this out a little bit further because that oil is going to shoot out right into this pan, and then when it's done dripping, it'll drip right in there. As you can see, that first drip is already started. So at this point you can loosen it, and I like to hang on to it because it will drop right into that oil, and then you got to reach into that dirty oil to get this plug back out. So you can feel, slowly turn it loose. You can feel when it's ready to come out. I just give it a real fast motion and pull it straight out. 1, 2, 3, out. Like I said. Okay, you can see that plug is full of oil. So that's why I like to keep paper towels and get that cleaned off. I have multiple change gloves here. So one gets dirty, off. And if you need to move that pan back a little bit, as you can see, keep that close by, that drain plug, so you don't lose it. And it's slowly draining away all that oil. That's why I jack it up on this side, because gravity is going to get most of that oil out. Now, you'll never get 100% out, but it's good to get most of it out. And I just let it drain. A slow drip, you know it's just about done. Okay, it's been about another 5 minutes, and as you can see, maybe if I can get the camera there, it's still a slow drain there. Let me turn that up there. See, just a very thin drippage. So I think that's good enough. Okay, first I've cleaned off my drain plug. As you can see, no oil on it. I'm going to wipe this, stop this from dripping for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to put the drain plug back in. Okay, stop dripping. I'm going to wipe up. Okay, turn that drain plug finger tight. I'm going to move this pan out of the way so I can get the ratchet onto the drain plug and tighten this up. Of course, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Good tight tightening. Some of these guys will put a pneumatic wrench on there. I've had that happen before and unable to get this off. So you don't need it really tight. You could always come back in a day or two and see if there's any dripping. Okay, now that we've drained the oil, I'm going to level this car back out, lower the jack, take the jack stands out, take the wheel chock out, socket on there. That'll better show you where the oil filter is, right there. Okay, let me get some better lighting. There we go. You have to use an extension And that just pops open like that. Like I said, this is so much easier going from the top than the bottom. The oil doesn't spill all over, and it's very convenient. So at this point, I take the ratchet off, set that up there. Then I can unscrew the rest of it by hand. If I can get my hand on there, yep. Okay, so I know it's hard to see on the camera, but that just lifts straight out like that. There's your oil filter with the cap on it. Okay, so I said this is the cap with the filter in there. So this just comes out. You can see there's little teeth on the other back side. So you just want to unsnap that. Be careful because there is oil, just like that. Pull straight out. And at this point, I like to put the old one in the new box. And there is a silicone ring that needs to be replaced each time. I'd like to get a screwdriver and do that. It's not hard. Just got to get underneath it. Lifts out and dispose of that old one. And each new filter comes with a new ring around there. I just like to wipe some of this old oil out of here. Keep it nice and clean. And then I will take, here's your new ring. I like to put new oil around there, right inside that blue ring area. That's where it should be replaced. Okay, so I just dip my finger into this new oil and wipe it around this new silicone ring. Just get it all full of oil. Slip this on the new area, on the cap of the oil. And now I take the new filter. As you can see, it's not going to go in this way because it won't stay. So there's the teeth. That just gets inserted there until you hear it click. There. Nice and secure. I'm going to wipe this down so I'm not full of oil. Grab some new, just wipe the outside, not what I just put on the new O-ring. So at this point, you are ready to put the new filter back on. See, normally on most cars, the oil filter hangs upside down the other way. That's why I like to do this one. It's very convenient. So I just hand tighten this as much as I can. I get my extension with the socket on there. Put that on. And then I get my ratchet. Put that back on the extension. Twist. Okay. That completes the oil filter. There it is right there. Now we're going to fill the engine with new oil. All right, now we are ready to fill the engine with oil. 5 weight 30 on this 2019 Chevy Colorado. Okay. I like to use a funnel, even though if you're a steady hand and a good aim, you could try pouring the oil directly into the filler cap, but experience tells me I've spilled some oil. So Trying to make this as easy as I can to show you guys. This is a great DIY project. Saves you a ton of money. Okay. Almost full. At some point you saw how dirty my truck was. A wash and wax. Maybe a clay bar video will be next. I'll keep you posted. That gets put back on. Nice and tight. Okay. Like I said, that completes filling the engine with oil. I'm going to go ahead and close the hood. And we still have that old oil to take care of. Okay, so as I said earlier, we put 6 quarts of new oil in. I'm sure we don't have 6 quarts of old oil because, of course, engine. You see that popped up again? Okay, you can see right in that dash, it still says change engine oil soon. And I'm at 83,379, but we are going to go through and reset this. Remaining oil life is 5%. Well, we know that's not right because it's just been changed. I'm going to hit that check mark. Are you sure you want to reset? And it's highlighted at no. I'm going to flip this up to yes. There it is. Hit that check mark. 100%. There we go, guys. At 83,379. I'm going to give the engine a crank over as soon as I open the garage door. Don't want to get asphyxiated. Might scare the wife a little bit. Okay, here we go. Remaining oil life, it's still at 100. So I'm going to get back to the trip meter. And that's it. All right, all things Kevin. Thank you for joining me today.